Hello YouTube, this week I've got the keys to a 2019 Acura RDX Elite. Let's take a look. So this is the all-new 2019 RDX. Quite aggressive look to this one. It looks pretty cool. It's probably one of the nicer Acura / Hondas that's out right now. And it's a crossover. It's a 2-liter turbo engine, 272 horsepower, I think it is, 280 pound-feet of torque. Quite a bit of power out of a small 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. It's got a 10-speed automatic transmission. This is kind of like a mid-size crossover. It's smaller than the MDX, of course, which is a 3-row, and this is only the 2-row, 5 seats. It looks pretty good. This one is 52,200 and something, and it does have all-wheel drive, SH all-wheel drive. Show you back here. There's quite a bit of room back here, although it's not very wide, especially at the wheel wells here. It's pretty narrow here. You've got a subwoofer back here as well, and then some storage space, and then under here you've got some more storage and your spare tire. Well, the spare tire is actually underneath, but this is to kind of get it down. You pull that and you can kind of crank it down. So quite a bit of space here. These seats here, they fold, and they're 60/40, and you've got these handles you pull on, and they pop right down, so you don't even have to push them. So that's pretty nice. Pull on that and you'll see you've got a ton of room there and a flat floor. So here's your flat floor here, and then to flip them back up, just pull them and flip them, and then I'm going to hop in here, and there's a ton of stuff in the back too. Well, I mean, I guess not a ton, but you've got door pockets on either side. You've got heated seats on the outboard seats, and you've got a couple of USB plugs as well, so you can charge some devices. They're getting, instead of putting in like entertainment systems, you can still get entertainment systems, but instead of doing that, they're realizing that most people have iPads and iPhones and Android tablets and that now, and they just charge like that instead of having it built into the car. You've got the gigantic sunroof here. I'm going to open that up. I don't know if I can without it turning on, no. So I'll turn that on. And now we'll open that up. And you've got, it goes forever. And the front part opens. The back part stays. So pretty big roof, gives you a nice open feel. There's a good amount of space in these seats as well. Enough leg room. These are really nicely done. This metal trim here, the aluminum covers. I don't know if it's actually aluminum or plastic. It's cold, so it's probably aluminum. Cup holders in the doors, and if I pull this down, there's a couple cup holders here as well. It gives you a nice view of the front from here, and you see that you've got that big display on top. Lots of buttons on this one, lots of buttons on the steering wheel. We'll go up front and take a look at that. That engine start button looks really cool, and it's kind of glowing red now that the car is running but not started. And there's a touchpad here to control the top screen. So let's go up front and I'll show you all those features. Okay, so up front here, as I said from the back, you've got a ton of buttons on the steering wheel. So check this out. I don't think I've ever seen this, a power button on the steering wheel, and that's to turn off the radio. It's got heated steering wheel, volume control, it's got your Bluetooth audio and that. It's got this apps button and a back button, and then the scroll wheel. So if you use that, if you hit, let's say I'll hit apps, I don't know if you'll be able to see it because it's in the head-up display. So in there it says navigation, phone, Apple CarPlay, Sirius XM, so you can kind of scroll through that with that thumb wheel. So if you want to get to Sirius XM, this is the easiest way to get to it. And then There you go. And then there's the different radio stations. I don't know if you'll, hopefully the camera picks it up. I know it does sometimes. It's not very clear though. Anyway, so you can scroll through that, and then you go back to your head-up display, which is the biggest head-up display I've ever seen. Like, the numbers are really, really big, which is really nice. On the right-hand side of the steering wheel, you've got your cruise control, and you've got this other scroll wheel, which controls the display in the middle here. So you've got that. You can go through different settings in there as well. And then main, that's for your cruise. And you can set your cruise here, and you can set your distance for the radar cruise. On the left-hand side, we've got even more buttons. You can control your head-up display, tilt, and brightness levels, and then you've got your lane departure, heated windshield, and collision mitigation, and there's a bunch of stuff here. Parking brake is here, brake hold, stability control, parking sensors, and on the right-hand side, you've got even more buttons, of course. You've got your automatic climate control. And another thing I don't think I've seen, I've never seen a button for it anyways, automatic seat cooling. So this is the cooling side and the heating side. Seat heating and cooling. So it figures out based on your temperature. So if I really crank the temperature down, it'll turn on the cooled seats. See, if I crank it down more, it turns on the cooled seats even more. If I crank it up, cooled seats go down. So that's kind of cool. Makes it kind of simple if you like that. Dual zone climate control, the weird shifter that all the Acuras kind of have now, so you pull back on this to get reverse and then hit that button for drive. You've got this knob here for which changes the modes, so sport plus, comfort, and snow mode. And I haven't really played with it. I didn't really notice anything different. I mean, it plays with the throttle mapping, of course. I was reading online that you have to get the Premium Elite to get the dampers that are adjustable, so I don't think that does anything to the suspension on this model. I'll get to the touchpad in a second. This is nice, a little rolly. So in there you've got your cup holders, and you've got another USB outlet. And then you've got another little storage area here. It's not very big. So there's how the rolly works. And you can leave that open or closed. It looks really nice. With the brown leather, everything, and the wood trim does go really well together. Camera won't be able to pick it up very well, but down here underneath the console here, there's a power outlet, auxiliary, and another couple of USB ports. One USB port down there as well. And then of course, you've got that sunroof that I mentioned from the back, and you've got a sunglasses holder, and you've got buttons for that up here, and you've got sun visors that move, which is nice to have. Automatic headlights, 2-position memory seats, and then you've got automatic down and up windows all around, which I like to have. And I've been averaging 9.8 liters per 100 kilometers. So not bad. It's a big car, all-wheel drive. So not that bad. I've driven almost 500 kilometers now, still on the same tank. Getting kind of low, though. It does have paddle shifters. So, it's got that. I don't know too many people that use those, to be honest. It's got automatic engine shut-off. So it's got that. Tons of features, really. You look up the features on this, it's got a ton of stuff. So let's go to this touchpad here. It's got 2 touchpads. It's got one on the right-hand side. This looks like a U and an upside-down U. So that switches the one on the right-hand side of the screen. And you can kind of scroll through different things here. And then you've got the main touchpad. You've got the main touchpad here, and this thing, I guess, maps directly. So if I put, let's say I want to be on the navigation in the bottom left-hand corner. If I put my finger in the bottom left-hand corner and then I look up, you see it goes there. So you don't, at first I was using it like a mouse, and then it was really confusing and hard to use. So you have to realize that this is actually one-to-one mapping. So it makes it a lot easier to use if you realize that. Now, the swiping worked that time. Sometimes the swiping doesn't work, so it can get a little annoying. So you swipe to go between screens. Now you can also add things to this screen, which took me a while to figure out. but it seems to only put it on the last screen. So this one's missing a few, and I can't seem to get anything there. And then this one's full, so when I put a new one, it ended up on the last screen, and I don't know how to move it. I have a feeling you have to remove all these and kind of start over, but I could be wrong, but I think that may be how it is, and somebody went and deleted that, and then when I added it in, it ended up there. If I could swipe again, you have all the apps, and you can scroll through, so you can actually just go here and click. I'm not sure if you're picking up. I'm clicking on the scroll bar there, and oops, go back home. So you can do that, scroll back, or you can just scroll through this as well, like a regular scroll. So at first I hated it. It was absolutely horrible. I've gotten used to it. I still think I'd rather the knob, although this is pretty quick if you get used to it, I guess. But the knob is kind of nice, and I'm sure you can turn off that whoosh, whoosh, whoosh sound. Not sure if the microphone's picking up. Probably is. But it goes whoosh every time, and that's under settings. I'm sure you can change that. It's a little bit slow. No, I mean, not super slow. Sound, audio, bass, treble, notifications. I'm sure there's a setting for that. I haven't really played with that much. But there's a ton of stuff in there if you want to be playing with that. And this, again, you can change on this side. You can see two different things, and I think you can add stuff to this side too as well. So kind of cool. Let's take it for a drive, see what it's like, and talk about that. Accelerate onto this road here. And it makes not a bad noise for a 4-cylinder, 2-liter engine. Not a bad noise. And it picks up speed pretty quickly. And it's really, really quiet on the road, which is what you'd expect from a vehicle like this. The ride is nice and comfortable, soft ride, really no complaints. The MDX, every time I've driven an MDX, I've complained actually that it's a pretty rough ride on it. I don't know why they've tuned it like that. This, they've definitely gone the opposite direction and kind of softened it up. It's a smaller crossover, kind of competing with the Lexus NX, BMW X3, so that kind of category. There you have it, the 2019 Acura RDX. This is the Elite model. Please do subscribe to my channel and like this video if you like it, and comment if you have any comments about this car. Getting interactive on the on YouTube is great. I tend to try to answer anybody that has any questions. And thanks again for watching. Please subscribe.